Have you ever spent hours studying a particular JAMB topic only to forget half of it the next morning? Try again, read the same thing, but somehow nothing sticks. Then you start blaming your brain, thinking you're not smart enough. Or maybe student from bigger school have sharper brains. Or what if I tell you, forgetting what you read doesn't mean you are dull? It is actually how our brain works. And it is a sign that the way you study might be the root problem. I learned this the hard way while preparing for JAMB last year. But once I understood how memory actually forms, everything changed and I scored 343. So in this video, I'll break down why you forget so easily and most importantly, how to fix it. Using science-backed memory tips that actually work for JAMB students. Hi, I am Angela and welcome to episode 1 of the JAMB Mindset series, where we fix the way you think and study for JAMB so you can actually remember what you read. Before we jump into how to fix it, let me tell you why your brain forgets. Because once you understand that, the solutions will make sense. Alright, let's start with the truth. Forgetting is normal. Our brain is designed to forget most of what we read unless we give it a reason to remember. Here's how it works. When you study something new, your brain first stores it in the short-term memory. When you don't review it, your brain assumes it is not important and it gets deleted. This is what scientists call Ebbinghaus forgetting curve. And it states that we forget up to 70% of what we learn within 24 hours if we don't revise it properly. So the problem isn't that your brain is bad. It is that your study method doesn't match how memory actually works. Most JAMB students think their problem is a bad memory, but it is not. It is actually how they study. You can't just keep reading your note like a storybook and expect your brain to retain it under exam pressure. What you really need is a way to study that works with how memory forms, not against it. Here's how to actually fix it, backed by research. 1. Active recall. It is the number one way to beat forgetting. Instead of reading your notes, close your book and try to explain the topic from memory out loud or on paper. That is called active recall, and it's like teaching yourself. When you do that, your brain builds stronger connection between the information and your understanding. For example, after studying physics laws of motion, try saying, okay, what are Newton's 3 laws of motion and how do they apply in real life? If you forget any of the laws, check your book again and test yourself once more. That effort to remember is what strengthens your memory. 2. Spaced repetition. Your brain forgets fast if you don't review at the right time. Instead of cramming one topic 10 times in a day, review it once today, once tomorrow, again after 3 days, then a week. Each time you revisit, you break the forgetting curve and the memory lasts longer. It's like upgrading from a short-term to a long-term storage. Step 3 is called interleaving. It simply means don't spend your whole day reading just one subject. For example, instead of reading 3 biology topics in a row from morning till night, you can do chemistry for a while, then switch to physics, then biology. Mixing subjects like this keeps your brain active and helps you remember faster. So the main point here is, don't read one subject for too long, switch it up. Now the fourth one is the study habits most JAMB students overlook, which is getting enough sleep. I know you think staying up all night means you are being serious, but what actually happens is, your brain collects information all day and never gets time to store it properly. Without sleep, your brain won't be able to store that information in long-term memory. Think of sleep as your brain save button. If you skip it, your brain won't be able to save what you study. So instead of skipping sleep, here's a smarter way to balance both studying and rest. First, during lectures, listen actively. Then use short breaks between classes to quickly review your notes before the next subject starts. That quick review helps your brain to start the listening process early. 2. When you get home, aim for 3 to 4 hours of focused study. No scrolling, no chatting, just study. Then revise what you study early the next morning when your mind is clear. 3. On weekends or public holidays, that is when you extend your hours of study to cover more subjects, revise, or catch up. I only put all-nighters when it is truly necessary, like before mock exam or when I was behind on my timetable. And on such days, I always took nap during lecture breaks to recover. Remember, the goal isn't to study endlessly, but to study effectively. And smart JAMB students don't just read more, they remember more. So if you've been struggling to remember what you study, start applying these 4 techniques today. They work not because they are trendy, but because they match how our brain is built to learn. If you found this helpful, drop a comment below and tell me one thing you are changing about your study method starting today. And if you are serious about scoring high in JAMB, make sure you subscribe because the next episode will show you how to study, even on days you don't feel like it. Remember, scoring 300 plus in JAMB isn't luck. It's consistent daily efforts. Until then, keep pushing and thanks for watching.